I have Miami by Will Smith stuck in my head. Hello everybody, it's Nikki Momo here and welcome back to my channel. Instead of doing a get ready with me video or try on and swatch it video, we're going to be doing a anti-haul video because I know there are some products out there that I know I don't want, but some people think I do. I've been seeing all these types of videos popping up in my newsfeed and I've been wanting to do one for quite some time. I just had to wait for enough products to do enough to put in a video. I will be giving out a reason as to why I'm not purchasing these products. I'm just not gonna be like, no, just no, just no. So, here we go. One item I am not going to be getting is the Bronze Seduction palette by Pat McGrath. It's a no. Definitely a pass. Why? Because of the price point. Honestly, the price point range is too damn high for my liking. I think $170 in Canadian for a palette is way too much for 10 pans. For any palette for that matter. And it's really all neutral if I have to look at the shades. With that being said, it can be easily replaced for a cheaper palette that may hold more than 10 eyeshadows, like Too Faced Sweet Peach palette, or any Maybelline or Tarte, for instance. The only shade I do like from the palette is the dual chrome shade that's on the top right near the corner. I mean, you could probably swatch that to figure out what kind of dual chrome it is. By looking at it, it looks like it's a really nice bright gold with a tint of brown or another deeper shade of gold. I also believe that there is another dual chrome shade. I'm not 100% sure, but looking at it, it looks like a pinkish white gold. And I think that's in most of Too Faced palettes. Believe me, I bet it swatches nicely and I bet the pigmentation is really good. Probably blends well, but it's just $170 for a 10 pan palette. No thanks. Speaking of Too Faced that I mentioned earlier, the next product is going to be the Too Faced Then and Now eyeshadow palette. Oh boy, this was a major turn off for me. Who needs effing 17 shimmer slash glitter shades with only 3 mattes? Who needs that? And the size is like ridiculous. Like, where am I gonna put it? It's so big. There's no point. It just wouldn't fit anywhere with my small rectangular palettes or like some of the weird circular ones I have for Tarte, and maybe like the mini square ones I get once in a while. Someone who is watching this video is probably sitting there going like, me? If you want this palette because of the crazy size it comes in and all the 17 glitter slash shimmer shades with 3 mattes, good for you. You are weird. But hey, I like that. I like weird people. When I see this palette, I'm getting like half of like the golden chocolate bar palette they released last year for Christmas, and possibly the rest of the shades I see is from their signature palettes over the years. I just feel like it's just too much for me. We don't need like some shades that are remotely similar in the palette that I've noticed. I also saw this palette in Sephora and I checked out the case and all that, and I noticed the sparkles from the case from the inside, because it's all over this palette. It's all over this damn thing. And literally the sparkles from the casing falls onto the palette. I don't like that. I really don't. That just messes around. I mean, 85% of them is just like, hey, we're all shimmers and sparkles. But the mattes need to be staying pure. So I would love to not have any of that fall into my matte shades. I will admit, however, I really love their old font. Their old font looks great. The price point for the palette I think is awesome. It's like, I think $70 here in Canada, which I find really reasonable. Like, you're getting 20 shades for $70. I think that's great. I hate the size. I hate how it's mostly shimmer and sparkle shades. No, I don't want it. The next item I don't think I will be purchasing is the Moroccan Spice palette. As much as I applaud to Rihanna for making her own makeup line, this palette, however, is not appealing to me. The casing is gorgeous, I'm not gonna lie. It's a really nice case, minus the fact that you can get fingerprints all over very easily, like I mentioned in my Tarte video when I reviewed the Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust palette. But the color choice I see from it, it's not what I think it is when it, since it's titled Moroccan Spice. When I think of Moroccan Spice colors, I think peach, brown, green, red, burgundy, maybe a little bit of yellow, and like a deeper blue, like grayish deep blue. That's not what I see whatsoever. I also see like the first diagonal part of the palette. It reminds me of Kat Von D's like 10th anniversary palette. I don't know, I brought mine out to show in comparison, but like I see the same red, the same brown, I see a few of the same shades over here, except they added like a lighter blue, which is fine, but I'm thinking like a dark blue. That's just what I see from her palette. So I already have half of her palette already, and then they just threw out some random colors into this palette, but it's fine. Price point is okay, and like I mentioned, the casing is really nice. I just think this is not gonna win me over to buy something from her line, so maybe next time, Rihanna, you'll win me over eventually. Okay, so when I was reviewing some of the products on Sephora to add into my notepad for making notes and whatnot, I noticed this came out, I think, a few days ago. It's been out in the States before, but it's finally arriving here in Sephora in Canada. I am not interested in the Too Faced Sugar Peach Wet and Dry Face eye palette from their Peaches and Cream collection. Like, what the fuck is this? What is that? Like, is anyone else tired of their Peaches and Cream collection or any peach collection that they've been releasing for a while now? I mean, their Sweet Peach palette is by far my favorite neutral palette that they've ever released. I mean, like, this is amazing. If you don't have it, get it. It's awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, or you guys have, I did do a video, I believe last year, about the white peach palette they released. Yeah, that was something. That was an interesting palette. I got the palette first because I really wanted to relieve my curiosity because it looked great, but it wasn't for me, but I was so curious to review it. So I ordered it and it came. Long story short, I didn't like it. The only colors I actually liked from that palette was the last four. The combination of all four shades, amazing. If they release like that little section from their palette as a mini palette, I would totally buy it. And they had a one repetitive shade, which has been consistently in every palette they've been releasing. And it's like, I don't need that shade anymore. And so that was a bummer. I will link the video down below in the description box. I mean, I love Too Faced products, don't get me wrong. Like, I have a few of their palettes and I'm enjoying them quite well. I'm just tired of their white peach collection or any of their peaches collections whatsoever. They just released a Tutti Frutti thing and I think that's pretty cool. I really want to try out the berry palette. I've already seen the lemon one and I am not happy with the outcome of that palette, but I really want to try their Tutti Frutti. So if you can bring that over to Sephora in Canada, so I'm not paying custom fees. Nope. So this is a pass for me. I think they should just move on to something else, which they did. Like, stay away from the peaches. We're done. Away with you. This one is not new, but it's back in stock, and it is Natasha Denona's best-selling Sunset eyeshadow palette. The palette is pretty, not gonna lie. Unfortunately, the price point is what is turning me away from this said palette. This palette retails here in Canada $162. I mean, $8 cheaper than the Grath palette that I mentioned earlier. It has 5 more shades, but still, you're getting more for a little bit less. But the price point is still not worth it to me, in my opinion. Like, I get it. Pigmentation is probably amazing, and it probably blends really well. That is way too much. I can't fathom why a palette like that is so expensive. Unless it's just for the name, then yeah, like, that's probably it. But honestly, oh shit, this almost fell. Anyway, I honestly have a palette that's remotely similar, which is the Violet Voss palette. There's some shades that are different, except that this has more eyeshadows and it has purple tones in it, which is awesome. I think it's $100 cheaper. Yeah, cheaper, more pans. These swatch great. If you haven't got Violet Voss Pro eyeshadow palette, hashtag get it. I think it's great to get all your sunsetty vibes. I just find that more, if you want to save your money, go for it. Get the Violet Voss Pro hashtag. I also really like her Tropic palette. She released sometime last year or this year. I can't remember. But I love the color choice on that. Only for the last 5 shades. I was not willing to spend $162. Even with my Rouge discount, $130. Too much. If I had to pick a Natasha Denona palette out of all the ones I know so far, I would pick the Lila palette because of all the purple, pink shades that are in there. And then there's like the ridiculous 28 eyeshadow palettes that she has for $305. And this last item that I will not be trying out whatsoever because the price point is a little ridiculous, but for $52 worth, I hope you're getting the satisfaction for it, which is the Beauty Blender foundation. I don't know, by looking at the jar that it comes in, it looks like you're not getting a lot of product. I'm always interested in trying out new foundations, but my skin is very picky. It will either break out or dry really, really fast. I'm always after foundations that could be the one for my skin. Even though I am using Smashbox Studio Skin Hydrated Foundation, this works wonder, but it's very pricey. I already paid $46 for this, and it's somewhat full coverage, but this is really expensive, and I use this a lot for cosplay. Plus, it's really hot out. It's like 30 plus here in Canada, and yet I'm wearing black. It's just, I don't want this to be wasted on skin where it can melt off because of how hot it is, so I use this only when I'm at cons. I do, however, want to try out NYX's new foundation. What is it? Party Until You Drop or something like that. I can't remember, but it just been released and I really want to try it out. I give Beauty Blender props for creating 22 different shades for your skin tones. Amazing. Some companies don't even do that, but I just think I won't be purchasing it. I mean, it's almost like $10 more than this one. If you must know what I use on a daily basis, I have gone back to Maybelline Fit because that's like a $20 or $15 foundation and it works wonders for my skin. And that is all the items that I'm not interested in whatsoever. I hope you guys like me ranting on items that I will not be throwing my money on. And if you like my anti-haul video, please give this video a nice like. And if you want to follow me on my other social media accounts, all the links are down below in the description box as well. And don't forget to hit my subscribe button down below for more videos such as these, cosplay get ready with me videos, makeup palette reviews, and swatch it and try on videos, and all the random content I will be doing in the future. And I'd like to say thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in my next video.